Do you even know how to do your jobs? Evelyn Monroe's sharp voice sliced through the refined murmur of Donovan's fine dining restaurant like a blade. Heads turned, glasses froze midair, and tension rippled outward like waves disturbing a still pond. The grand chandeliers, shimmering with opulence, and the soft glow of candlelight seemed to shrink under the sheer weight of her disdain. Leaning back in her chair, Evelyn let her diamond necklace catch the light as she stared down a young waitress who stood frozen, trembling ever so slightly. Her friends exchanged amused glances, their expensive perfumes mingling with the rich aroma of the dishes spread before them. This was Evelyn's domain, and every second of her dominance she relished. The night had begun like any other at Donovan, a beacon of sophistication nestled in the heart of San Diego. Patrons arrived in sleek cars, stepping into a world of plush carpets, polished silverware, and discreet classical music humming softly in the background. Among the staff was Emily, a hardworking young woman pushing through extra shifts to save for college. She had dreams of her own, but tonight, exhaustion buried them deep beneath the weight of reality. Carrying a tray laden with wine glasses, Emily moved carefully toward Evelyn's table. Her focus was unshakable until her ankle twisted slightly on the carpet. A single glass wobbled precariously, but steadied before it could fall. Still, Evelyn noticed. Her piercing gaze locked onto the waitress, and a cruel smirk curled on her lips. Unbelievable, she muttered just loud enough for Emily to hear. They'll hire anyone these days. Muffled laughter bubbled around the table, subtle, yet biting. Emily swallowed hard, forcing back the sting of tears as she reached their table. "Here you are, ladies," she murmured, setting their wine down gently. Though her voice remained steady, her hands betrayed her nerves. Evelyn tilted her head, inspecting the glasses as if hunting for an imperfection. "This one has a smudge," she declared, though she didn't bother handing it back. "Bring another. And be quick about it." A nod was all Emily could muster before retreating, her cheeks burning. Around the room, quiet murmurs spread, uneasy, yet hesitant to interfere. Across the restaurant, a man in a simple gray suit observed the scene. Seated alone at a corner table, his posture was relaxed, but his sharp eyes missed nothing. He didn't react outwardly, yet his gaze lingered as Emily disappeared into the kitchen. "Honestly, Evelyn," one of her friends chuckled, "you're too much sometimes." Evelyn shrugged, utterly unbothered. "If I don't speak up, who will? Standards matter, ladies." Though her friends nodded, half-hearted agreement flickered with discomfort. But Evelyn? She was impervious. She thrived on control, on being the loudest voice in any room. When Emily returned with a fresh glass, her hands were steadier this time. Evelyn barely acknowledged her. Finally, she muttered with a dismissive wave. "Maybe next time. Don't take so long." Emily's quiet, "Yes, ma'am," was lost beneath Evelyn's laughter. She turned away, walking briskly, but not before the man in the gray suit caught her eye. There was something in his expression, an understanding, a quiet resolve. Emily hesitated for only a fraction of a second. Then she kept moving. Evelyn's meal arrived soon after. With a critical eye, she examined the plate, her lips pressing into a thin line. "Is this supposed to be medium rare?" she scoffed, pointing her fork at the steak. "It looks overcooked." Emily, who had just delivered the dish, instinctively stepped back. "I'm sorry, ma'am. I can have the chef prepare another." Rolling her eyes dramatically, Evelyn let out an exaggerated sigh. "Do you think I have all night? Just fix it and hurry." Her friends giggled again, a sound that grated on the ears of those nearby. Emily rushed toward the kitchen, her face flushed. She had dealt with difficult customers before, but something about Evelyn stung deeper. Maybe it was the deliberate cruelty, the way she enjoyed it. At his table, the man in the gray suit set down his fork, leaning back thoughtfully. Then he signaled for the manager. Their quiet exchange was brief, but something in the manager's expression tightened. Whatever had been said had set something in motion. Back at Evelyn's table, the mood remained jubilant. She basked in her small victory, savoring the control she wielded. "Did you see how she almost dropped the tray earlier?" Evelyn laughed. She looked like a newborn deer trying to walk. Laughter followed, but this time it felt strained. Unspoken tension thick in the air. When Emily returned with a corrected plate, she placed it down gently and stepped back.
Here you are, ma'am.
The chef prepared this fresh for you. Evelyn sniffed. I guess it'll do, she muttered. Next time, just get it right the first time. Her voice carried, loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. Emily's hands clenched at her sides, but she turned away before the cracks in her composure could show. From his corner, the man in the gray suit stood and approached the manager once more. This time, the conversation was brief, but decisive. Evelyn, oblivious, turned back to her friends, launching into a story about her recent luxury vacation. She didn't notice the shift in the room, but something was about to change. And for once, Evelyn wouldn't be in control. She thinks she's untouchable, the manager murmured, his words rippling through the kitchen like a shockwave. But she's about to find out otherwise. The restaurant fell silent. Mid-step, Emily froze. What could that mean? And why was the man in the gray suit nodding, as if this had all been part of a plan?